Hey everybody. So I wanted to actually take a couple minutes today to talk about the guidelines for California parks reopening. But before we get into it, just make sure you click that subscribe button down below. We'll be more than happy to have your support on our YouTube channel, and make sure that you're following us on all of our social media. We'll be at Magic Mountain tomorrow, and we'll be posting things all day. But again, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We would greatly appreciate it more. So we've got 3 parks opening tomorrow. Magic Mountain, Discovery Kingdom, and Santa Cruz Boardwalk is opening up some of their stuff too. So I kind of wanted to take a couple minutes to kind of go over the guidelines, and also kind of what, as a fan of the parks, who's been an enthusiast for a long time, kind of like what I feel our role is as fans of theme parks. I've always kind of seen myself as an ambassador for theme parks, and this is definitely no different. So, kind of what I feel that as fans of parks, we should be doing when these parks open. How we should be behaving, and setting setting an example for how to act in these parks. So the other thing that I wanted to start off with is there's this thing going around saying that you can't scream on the rides and this and that. Even Ace posted it on their Facebook page yesterday, which they should know better. So you can scream on the rides, keep your masks on, and I'll get into the mask conversation a little bit later. But there's been a lot of talk in enthusiast Facebook groups about the governor this and the governor that. It's time to put all that aside. We're getting our parks back open. Let's stop complaining about the rules. Let's stop complaining about the regulations. Let's stop complaining about distancing and masks and things like that. We're getting our fun places back. People are getting back to work. So stop with the back and forth arguments about all this stuff. Just go, have a great time, follow the rules, and let's make sure that these parks can actually stay open. So again, as I mentioned, parks are actually opening tomorrow. Originally, they were going to be opening up in the red tier, which would allow 15% capacity. But as of yesterday, both LA and Orange County can open in the orange tier, which allows for 25% capacity. Now, the County of LA has already said that they are going to hold off a little bit on moving to that orange tier, just to make sure that the numbers hold. And I actually personally think that's a really good idea, just because of what we've seen in the other states when things open up. So I'm actually kind of okay with them taking that approach. They said they're going to wait about another week to see how those numbers hold up. So if you're looking for a reservation for one of these parks, check back in a week or so, and you might be able to get one if the capacity increases from 15% to 25%. So keep an eye on that. So with that, so starting tomorrow at the parks, 15% capacity. Small groups only, or 3 household groups with no intergroup mixing. So you can go with up to 10 people. I'm actually going by myself. So if you see me there, you totally say hi, but I would be keeping my distance, just for me. I only got 1 shot so far, and don't need to get sick or anything. Indoor capacity is limited to 15%, so I wouldn't expect, for example, at Magic Mountain, I would not expect Justice League to be open right away. Who knows? I'll find out tomorrow. But I wouldn't expect that attraction to be open starting tomorrow. In addition to that, no indoor dining tomorrow or this week. So, for example, Full Throttle Sports Bar at Magic Mountain won't be open. And then I know that there's some indoor dining locations at Discovery Kingdom and Boardwalk. So I wouldn't imagine those are going to be open this week either. But again, starting next week, if they do move into that orange tier, they can open up the indoor dining at 25%. You can do walk-up tickets. Santa Cruz has already said that they are going to be doing walk-up tickets, but they recommend that you go in and do a reservation. So, we're all internet savvy. Go on and make your reservation. It's not that difficult. It's just the easiest way to do it. And I don't know if Discovery Kingdom or Magic Mountain are going to actually be doing the ticket booths. I'll, again, find out tomorrow, right? So some of the other things that they've mentioned as far as requirements are face coverings. Obviously, that shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. Guidelines for employees as far as testing and things like that. Obviously preventing outbreaks and what to do if there are outbreaks, and then control measures, public address announcement. So, expect to hear announcements going on throughout the parks, reminding people to be social distance and keep their masks on, both at Knott's and at Universal and at Disney. They had things like that going on. So I would imagine that is going to be, part of it. I did see some reports yesterday that Magic Mountain will have the new scanners that you basically walk through. They're completely touchless, both for the temperature screening and the bag check. So kudos to Magic Mountain on that. I don't know if Discover Kingdom is going to have them. Hopefully they will. But kudos to Six Flags for really going out and using technology to their advantage. So that's pretty amazing. There's also some guidelines here about ventilation and disinfecting, things like that. For example, I'll have my hand sanitizer with me. I'll be, using it, after I ride stuff, but they will be cleaning after every cycle. So, expect, even though if park's only 15% capacity, expect slow loading times. That's something to that you just need to wait for, and that you need to expect. So, keep that in mind. Electronic payments, again, use your Apple Pay, use your Google Pay, things like that. Use your cards if you can, but try to use your touchless things. And I think in the case of Magic Mountain, they are going to touchless or mobile payments only. So make sure that you're all loaded up with all of that stuff. In addition, physical distancing guidelines. Again, we should all know. It's been a year. We should all know what's expected of us as far as physically distancing. Keep an eye on the lines on the queue. Stay 6 feet apart. Things like that. So one of the other things that they're talking about too is, ticketing offices and plexiglass. So expect to see some plexiglass in the queues and in the stations. They're also talking about, touchless scanners, things like that, locker arrangements. Now, one of the other things that I kind of wanted to spend a little bit of time on is this guideline here is to evaluate the speed and other dynamics of each attraction to ensure face coverings of various types basically stay on. It says face coverings must not present a loose article hazard or interfere with the safe operation of an attraction. So if necessary, consult with the ride manufacturer to decide which types of face coverings are appropriate for specific rides. So what does that mean? How I'm kind of interpreting that. If a ride, let's say Superman at Magic Mountain. Don't know if it's going to be open or not, but let's just go ahead and use that example. It's got forward and backwards motion, right? The ride's been open for a few days or a week, and they're finding that 20% of people are coming back without their masks. They probably have to report that and say, this is happening, and it's possible that they might say, you need to shut this attraction down because it is a loose article hazard and you're taking off your mask. So what does that actually mean as far as us as enthusiasts? Don't take your masks off on the ride. Keep your masks on, because we've all been working really hard to get to this point for a year. Not only do we get to go back and enjoy the places that we love, a lot of people are getting back to work, which is the most important thing, right? We want to make sure that these parks can stay open now that they're actually open. So don't be that person that's going to, ride a ride and say, I'm taking my mask off and I'll just tell the ride off that I lost it on the ride. Don't be that person. So in conclusion, I just want to say, go to these parks, have fun. If you're comfortable doing so, follow the rules. Don't complain. Don't complain to the front lines cast members or team members or employees. It is not their policy. Don't argue with them about you have to wear your mask on the ride. Don't go there. It's not worth it. It's not them. They're just glad to be back at work. You should be glad to be back at a theme park, and just have fun with it. Follow the rules. Let's make sure that the parks stay open. Let's make sure that these people stay back in work. And hopefully as we keep moving in the lower tiers, we can start opening things up even more in a safe way. Things like that. So just, be cool, have fun with it. And again, if you see me there, say hi. From a distance, right? All right, take care, everybody.